Hello, welcome to the court. My name is April if you're new here, and today I have a few makes to show you, some very special ones in fact, and then also another yarn haul. I bought probably one of my biggest Senilco yarn hauls to date. I am absolutely loving this yarn. Again, yes, it sheds, some more than others, but the softness and the structure that it gives me, I just have fallen in love with, and I love working with it. So let me show you what I got in the yarn haul, and then we'll get to the extremely special and emotional makes. This package is so big. I think honestly it's just 15 skeins, which is my biggest order to date, so it's not like gigantic. It wasn't hundreds of dollars, and they are still running the, like, if you buy 5 you can get 40% off sale. I think it's almost a forever sale because I've bought maybe 4 times now, and every time has been the sale. So, and it's been going since I found out about the yarn, probably like a few months ago. So definitely it's a good deal. Get it, especially if you buy the 3 packs. The 3 packs are a really good deal, and I think they ended up being like almost $2 or $3.99 a skein when you buy the 3 packs. I've only done that once. This time it's a lot of singles. The first colors I have is this very light blue. It will give me a number on these skeins, but there is a name for them when you go on Amazon. All of this yarn is on Amazon. I do have a link to it down below. It does give me a small commission if you are so willing to order, but otherwise there's no additional cost to you. Light blue because I plan on making some squirtles, so I needed light blue. I got 2 skeins of this very dark gray color. There's a dragon called Blaze, and it's from a maker that I haven't made from yet, and I really want to make the dragon, so that's why I got this color. I have been needing a lot of this color lately. I also want to make another gargoyle from Crochet by Kelsey. Her little floppy gargoyle was the first thing to sell at a bookstore that I actually have some of my plushies in, so I need to make another one. This is the teddy bear color. It's a warm brown. I tend to get browns in many different shades, from cool tones and warm tones, because you just never know what you're gonna need. This is also gonna make an Eevee. Again, I'm still making things from my Comic-Con, but also I've kind of just fallen in love with the characters, so they're actually really fun to make. I got 1 shade of this like toffee color. I call it toffee because it looks like the toffee color from Parfait Chunky from Premiere. But I got 1 skein of this. All of these are super soft, by the way. I got this rust colored orangey red because I want to make another Ludo. The one I made did sell to a friend, and I'm so happy she got it, but I want to make another one because he's just so cute. I need to find fur in this color, so if you guys know of fur in this color, please let me know. I'm obsessed with this very dark green color. I know it looks kind of blue on the camera, but it is in fact like an evergreen color. I'm currently making a dragon in a different, I think in the Parfait plushie yarn, which I've never used before. I only got 1 color of it, and I'm using it right now to make a dragon. Love the color, so I wanted to try it in a smaller yarn, which is the Senilco yarn. So I got 1 of those. Definitely needed some more grains. This is gonna go to the chickaritas that I'm making. Also, maybe a sprigatito. So I haven't decided yet. I think I do need to make a sprigatito, or a spaghetti-o as I like to call it. But if not, it's definitely gonna be some chickaritas. Also, the little worm guy that I've been loving to make from Hollow Knight. That's also another free pattern. I think this color specifically would work really well for that, so definitely needed some more green tones. Had to get a chocolate brown, of course. And then of course my last one is basic, boring white. There is 3 different white colors. I go for the white. I think there's one that's like pearl. I don't go for that one. And I don't go for the cream, although I have I do have the cream. I currently have it over there, so I didn't need to reorder it, but I love the cream color and I love the white color as well. So white is usually the hardest color in all yarns. I think maybe just it's the way the colors are manufactured and processed. They tend to be more scratchy. These seem okay. They're not as soft as some of the other ones, but these do seem soft. So I think we're gonna be just fine. I can tell though, like you can just tell the white always feels just a tiny bit different. Those are all my colors. I just got a huge pile here that I need to put away. As you can see, I'm not out of any yarn. This is my yarn stash right here, but I needed some specific colors for some specific makes. So that's why I went ahead and ordered. Let me tighten you back up because now I just messed up everything. That was kind of a quick, I actually kind of went through that really quick, but I will start off with the makes that I made this week. This one is not one of the emotional ones. I did just want to make another mofu is just the tiny Furby. The one I made last week was just so fun to make. I had to make another one and I want to make one more. I just want to make 3 for now and see how they do, but I think these will be a hit at my Comic-Con. You just never know what's gonna sell though. Like I personally love them. I also have custom eyes that I made for them. However, these are kind of like clearance eyes because these are like little golden moons in them, but on this side one of the moons went backwards. It was just one of those tiny things that I'm like, I'm not gonna sell that. So I just used them instead. All the eyes that I mess up on I use on. Not that anybody can tell, but I can tell. Anyways, this pattern is on Etsy. There is a larger one. This is the mini one. So I've done both. They both are pretty quick. I do kind of like this mini one though. I think it just goes by a little bit quicker for a market make. And again, the hair, making the hair is the funnest part. This whole thing. I use 25mm eyes for these. Definitely should use 20s. I just don't have them right now. So keep that in mind when you're making this little mask, that the eyes are going to be very close together. It might be really, really hard to sew if you don't leave enough room for the edges of the mask. You can go one more round around. I just didn't want to do that because I didn't want it to be overpowering on the face, but you can do that if you're going to use bigger eyes. I suggest just using 20mm on this one. Anyways, this is made with Premier Basics yarn, and this is Sweet Snuggles Light. So, and so is this. This is also Sweet Snuggles Light. And then this is some kind of fur yarn from Michaels. I don't know what it's called, but because I don't keep the labels on things. You know me. My first emotional make is actually made by a friend. It's her first pattern ever, and this I'm not selling, I'm actually keeping because he has already brought me a lot of comfort, and that is Git Wellington. I'm sure by now you have seen this guy on YouTube if you watch Crochet Tube a lot. A lot of us testers were YouTubers, and that was a good idea on Lauren's part, to be quite honest. I would have done the same, girl. Crochet Cats and Coffee is Lauren's screen name. This is her first pattern ever, and it's Git Wellington. He's like a little emotional support buddy. He does come with a patched up broken heart and some tissues that are removable. You can sew them in if you don't want to lose that. I did not. I just gonna keep them tucked in. But this guy is so cute. He was very easy to make. I gave him the biggest eyes I could. He has little tears welling up in the sides. He's a little unsure because he's a little bit sad, but he's your commiserating company. Last weekend I was having a rough weekend, to be quite honest. Friday and Saturday I had a little bit of mental health issues. I wasn't feeling very well. And this guy was actually just by my bed because I had just finished him. And I just grabbed him and was like snuggling him like this. And I was laying in bed with him like this. And he was just very, very snuggly and cute and sweet. And it did make me feel better. It was making me feel a little better. I actually fell asleep with him like this. So I actually am gonna keep this guy because I think he has a special place in my heart, to be quite honest. I just can't imagine parting with him right now. He's gonna go, he's actually gonna live up there on my shelf above my yarn. I have one other special make up there. I don't often keep plushies, to be quite honest. I don't know what to do with them, and I don't want my house to be overrun with them because I have a small tiny house. But I have one that was special from someone at a market, a little girl at a market, and then I have this one right here that just, you know, kept me company. Well, I was not feeling well, so I think that's exactly his purpose too. If I had to make him again, well, first let me tell you how he's made. Everything is kind of sewn in on mine. You can do a no-sew option for the arms, and they're a little bit of a different way. You're no-sewing vertically over 3 rows, which is a little bit different than normal for arms. And then these guys are also sewn in. Is the head sewn in? I can't remember, Lauren. Is the head sewn in? If it is, I did a really good job at masking that because I can't tell. I think it's a no-sew. I think the body and the head are made in one. And then these little feet as well are sewn on. You can make him standing or sitting, so you have 2 options there. The arms, you do not have to sew them or tack them to the body. Not sew them, tack them to the body. I did because I kind of messed up on him a little bit. I think I like put his arms on upside down, or one arm upside down. It just wasn't looking quite right to me. So I did tack them to the body, but he's holding things, so did it matter? I don't know. It didn't matter. If I had to make him again, I think what I would change, to be quite honest, while his bobble feet are very cute because you have one gigantic bobble for his big toe, and then you have 3 small bobbles for his little toes. I probably wouldn't make toes, to be quite honest. I think I would just save a step or just make all the bobbles the same size, because on this color specifically, you can't really tell that he has one giant big toe and the others are different. And I think it would save a step for me figuring out what foot goes on what side, because for some reason my brain just could not wrap my head around that very easily. Again, the brain fog is hitting me hard lately. This perimenopause, let me tell you, difficult. By the way, somebody should make a brain frog. Can somebody make a brain frog? It's like a brain that's jumping along like a frog. Anyways, Git Wellington, otherwise very, very easy pattern, very detailed pattern. I don't think there's a single detail that she didn't cover in the pattern itself. So when you buy this pattern, you are getting it all explained to you very, very well. The ears are made in a way I wasn't used to, because you do have to carry your yarn, and especially when doing these color changes, you have to carry your yarn and make sure. I did not do that on the first ear, and I had to like weave it in at some point. So carry your yarn along here. But yeah, anyways, I love Git Wellington. I don't really care. His flaws and all, he's staying with me. Oops, his tissue fell out. Son, you need that. You can't leave home without your tissues, okay? That's very vital, okay? Anyways, Git Wellington has already done really, really well. I've been following along with Lauren on her journey of selling her first pattern, and I'm so happy for her. I think she's done a really, 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 really great job. I can't wait to see more because she has some great ideas for things, and I can't wait for you guys to see more from her too. And my last make, I actually don't have. My grandmother is in assisted living. She is 95, and she had a stroke several years ago, so that's why she's in assisted living. And she has her really good days and she has her really bad days. She can't talk very well because her side of her face is still slightly paralyzed. She has one paralyzed hand. And she's just needed care, more care than we could give her. She's in a great place, to be quite honest. My family my uncle and my aunt specifically did a really great job finding a good place for her to be in. I think she's being cared for well. It's a nice facility, and I wish I could visit her more often, but she's probably close to an hour away. And with life and work and everything, I just don't get out there as much as I could. But my parents and my aunt and uncle do see her quite often. And my parents recently showed her my crochet makes. This is my grandma that actually did the most crafting, and she actually crocheted some things for me as well. Actually, let me see if I can go get those. Hang on. Okay, well, I can't find them right now because everyone is still sleeping. It's like 7:30 in the morning before work. I don't want to wake everybody. But my grandma, when my daughter was born, she made me 2 crocheted stuffed animals. One was a giraffe and one was a zebra. And I still have those. So she's kind of like introduced me, I guess, to crochet a little bit back then. But I never had any inkling of wanting to do it back then. I've only been crocheting for a year and a half now. A year and a half. But she was always sewing or embroidering. You know, she did a lot of stuff like that. A lot of sewing. She used to sew all of my Barbie's clothes, which was really fun when I was a little kid. We had tons of clothes for her too, for our Barbies. Anyways, my parents showed her my crochet things and she was like, oh, she really loved it. And my grandma does have a lot of stuffed animals because she kind of like needs it with her hand that works good. She's always gone like this to them. So she is kind of hard on stuffed animals, but I wanted to make her something. And I needed it to be a no-sew pattern or a low-sew pattern because I didn't want her to be able to pull the item, like the arms and legs apart very easily. I also needed it to be no safety eyes, and then I also needed it to be simple, you know what I mean? So I decided to do a Nooks Hooks bear, one of my favorite patterns of all time, and I decided to do the princess one. I made her a little bear in a dress, and it's this one right here. I wanted to add a bow, but then I was like, thought maybe no bow because she could probably like pull that, to be quite honest. So I didn't make her a bow. I did embroider the eyes. I am not great at doing that. I am not great at embroidering the eyes. But I think I tried really hard and I did it for a while. I wanted it to be as good as I could get it for my grandma. So I think she turned out really cute. I used Premier Basics blanket yarn because I really didn't want it to shed at all, and she's gonna be picking at it, so I needed to be very, very sturdy. I do think that if you're making something for someone like a little kid, blanket yarn probably is the best yarn to do. I like chenille yarn because it's softer, but again, most of my makes I don't intentionally make for children. I make them for adults who might like be a little bit kinder to their things, more of like a display item. But this one I knew was gonna get some use, and I left it with my parents to give to my grandma the next time they see her, which probably, I don't know if they went this week, but it should be next week. But I love my grandma. I wish I could see her more, and I hope this bear brings her some happiness. I know it will. And her memories goes sometimes, so maybe it'll be just a little something to remember me by. But my mom actually asked me if I could embroider my name on the butt of the bear, and I'm like, Mom, you are asking way too much of me. My skill is not that great. I don't want to put a tag or anything with it, so she's just gonna have this little bear. I hope it really withstands her picking and pulling, because she's gonna use it quite often. Or it might just stay in the pile of stuffies that she has because she might not want to mess it up. But In my mind, it's something for her to snuggle and have fun with and to love on. So to bring her some comfort when we're not there. Yeah, so that's my other emotional make of the week. I am working on like 2 other projects, but I haven't finished them. They are both splooters. I got back into my dragon splooters. Oh, I did also put all the faces on my Pokemons from the Faceless Pokemon Army. My husband just couldn't stand it anymore. He's like, please get these weird dolls off the shelf because they're scaring me. So I did put faces on all of them. But other than that, I haven't been crocheting like a mad woman. I need to get back at it because my markets are not, they're gonna be here before I know it. And I've honestly signed up for a lot of fall markets. I have 2 in September, 3 in October, and I have already signed up for 2 in November, but I am waiting to hear if I got in. So it's gonna be a really busy fall, hopefully. Also, before I go, I just wanted to mention that I still have several eyes available up on my website. I made a big order this last time, and there are lots of goodies left. Go over to courtofcrochet.com to check those out. Anyways, that's the whole video today. Let me know if you've ever had an emotional make that maybe you can't get rid of, or that you gave to someone who they have cherished for a long time. Because I think that's a lot of what handmade is about. When you hand make something and they literally just think it's the most special thing in the world and they never want to get rid of it because like you made it for them. It's like the most special gift that you could give to someone, to be honest. So hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye.